Forget about it. It's Friday, and I'm about ready to forget about it. As they say downstate in the other New York. Oh my gosh. What a week is all I have to say. What a month, as it looks like it's stacking up to be. Speaking of months, this is May, and I think I'm booked into the first week of June. So, whoa. It's stacking up to, I don't know. Did the live stream start out normal? I don't know. Oops. Okay, are we on? Everybody, are we here? I guess so. Oh, there's Helga. JC Smith from the JC Smith Projects channel. And Helga from the Helga's Pennsylvania Cooking channel. All right, so it looks good. Yeah, I think I said 5:45, but whatever. I'm early, unlike customers. So I wanted to answer a couple questions. So something happened last week with last week's What's Up Wednesday, or not last week, maybe the week prior. And I just wanted to kind of straighten that out for anybody who is looking for that. It is my intention to lay off What's Up Wednesday throughout the summer for, various reasons. And if you want me to list them, I'll give you a couple. First of all my chillins are in baseball, t-ball, little league, one of the other, between the three of them. So lots of games and practices, and then we have vacation time, camping time, stuff like that. So I'm not around a lot in the evenings in the summertime. Plus, I have to keep the doors closed when we do What's Up Wednesday, or any live stream for that matter. And then the summertime, at the end of the day, sometimes it's freaking hot in here, and I don't want to sit in here and sweat, and a couple other reasons, but that's pretty much the main ones. Oh man, people are getting deleted and timed out. I didn't get to see what's going on over here. Hope I didn't. I must have missed something. Must be the thumbs downer. Gotta give his thumbs down. It don't matter. There's timing out, and easy, Mike. Easy down, boy. At any rate, so yeah, those are my priorities, and got to put them in order as stated by the QQ trick 1QQ. But you make him mad, Helga? Why is Mike on a warpath over there? I don't think. Oh, Knox, yeah, he's a good guy. Hopefully that didn't happen. Sorry to get off track here. I got to kind of scroll back up, kind of zip by here. Hopefully. Oh yeah, he was hidden. I wonder if I can. Crap. Let's see. Let me just fix something here. There we go. All right, I unhid Hard Knocks Forge, if anybody's watching. Or paying attention to that. So I don't know what was going on there. He is okay, Mike, just FYI. She might have said something being silly or something. There. Okay. Whew. I think everything's back to normal now. Unless you guys see something else going on there, and then we'll get back to normal. Let's see. Yeah. Mike said he's pocket. Usually we pocket dial people. He's pocket banning people, apparently. So let me just make sure somebody else wasn't banned that didn't need to be. Looked like he was on a warpath there for a minute. You build it, we destroy it, I think. Let's see, timed out. Okay, let me just check. I'm gonna I don't know if I can hide some of these. I'm gonna unhide some of these, and then let me fix this real quick. Sorry, guys. Let's see here. I think that was. So I'll make sure. Let's see. Build it, we destroy it. There we go. I think we're back to normal. All right. Okay. All right. I think we're good. So, but like I said, as I was mentioning, What's Up Wednesdays discontinuing just for the summer, then we'll be back. However, I did mention in the last one that got kind of goofy there, if there is, period throughout the week where the weather's crappy, such as today, big storm rolling in, nothing to do after work. I'm going to ban you, Mike. If something's crappy, then, I'll do a random live stream like this, and it may work out for everybody's benefit because they're not near as congested as usual when they're just at random. So a couple things, I guess, in the shop, as I mentioned earlier, I'm just getting absolutely obliterated with work. We're booked into June. Things are just crazy. I'm not trying to be ungrateful for it, but it is just absolutely nuts. Trying to keep up with all that. And the odd part is, or I guess the crazy part is they're all big jobs. Like every job comes in as, I'm doing, 3-4 brake jobs a day, and then, ball joints and wheel bearings and racks and just, you name it. It's just all big, part swapping jobs. So I'm not complaining about it because everything has gone pretty smooth. I was a little sad though, because I got you guys a really sweet brake drum video. I was being a little bit of a smart ass in it, but we named all the names of all the parts, and it was really good. It was one that actually, usually I don't think my videos are funny, but oh, Fuzzy Wuzzy. Okay, just a minute, MD Lee. Usually I don't think my videos are like super funny, but this one turned out kind of cool. And gosh, I lost my train of thought here. I can't read comments and think at the same time, but it turned out pretty cool. But needless to say, I put it on my thumb drive like I always do. And then I had to transfer some files from my computer to my Altel. And Keith's going to get a kick out of this if he's listening. So I load the files on my jump drive, and I didn't think that anything was going to go wrong. Pop it in the Altel, open it up, grab the file out of there, boom, done. I go home, plug my thumb drive into my computer, and it's like, you must format this disk, blah, blah, blah. I couldn't read it. I'm like, that's bizarre. Came back here, stuck it in a different computer, same thing. Tried a couple more. I'm like, oh, you gotta freaking kidding me. Put it back in my Altel. For whatever reason, somehow all the files on it got corrupted. So it really sucked. And I'd already deleted them off my card that goes in my camera, and it already rewrote over top of that. So I'm thinking that the Altel ruined my USB drive. I was able to format it, but it sucked. It really burned my biscuits. So it was a great video though. You guys would have loved it. Yeah, I know, Keith. And I know VW Wrenchy. I should have backed it up, and I typically do. Usually I'll take my little card out of the camera, I put it on the PC, I load all my files on the PC, and then before I go home, I throw my little thumb drive in there, and then just copy them onto that. So there's usually a copy on, a PC here, and there's, it's on my thumb drive. This time I didn't, because I've never really had a need for my backup stuff. Here you go, live and learn. So that sucks. But I'm sure we'll get another one. It was just a really good follow-up, I would have thought, for the Ford Ranger video, because everybody's like, for whatever reason, they want rear drum brake videos. And I had this 94 G20 van, and it was like, straight Mr. T van. It was pretty cool. And anyhow, we'll get another one someday, I'm sure. What's the coffee today? Oh man, I'm trying to limit myself to only 2 cups of coffee a day. It's tough. This is only my 2nd cup, and it is God, I can't even think today. Give me a break. Black Rifle Coffee Company. Sheesh. I had one of their stickers around here. So that's that. I can't play the rear drums. I can put the rear drums together. What else is going on? Needless to say, I do have some videos coming up. I haven't had much time to edit them. I've got, some more pressing, wheel bearing videos on various vehicles. No, I only have one on one vehicle. I think we got a Hyundai or a Kia or something. I got, what else did I get? Did kind of a bunch of front end stuff on like an 11 F-150, control arms, ball joints, axle shaft. And I show how to do the inner axle seals also, and pull the stub shaft out and do that. And something else. I don't know, there's 3 or 4 of them kicking around. Unfortunately, you know, it may be unfortunate for some of you, most of the stuff that I have coming in is all just mechanical stuff. It's all, you know, nuts and bolts and air hammering and spraying and heating and beating. So it's that kind of stuff. I'm hoping as things typically trend, they usually go in spurts. You know, I'll have like, you know, a month of just like straight mechanical repairs, and then next thing you know, it's, you know, money, you know, and that's just the way it seems. So I'm trying not to get discouraged. However, mechanical repairs for me are somewhat boring, simply just because, you know, it's mundane. You know, you've done it, you know, over and over again, and it gets kind of boring. It gets me down. You know, sometimes, you know, I'll call and talk to Keith, and he'll be like, "What's the matter with you?" Like, dude, I haven't picked up a scope in 2 weeks, and that's just how it goes. You know, of course, you know, I've had some quick and easy ones, you know, coming in, alternators, stuff like that. No, you know, no big deal. So I do want to finish the video that I started, the PowerPoint on, you know, diagnostic procedure. However, that is something that I struggle with, and that's something else I want to talk to you guys about as far as videos that I want to get coming up. I have an opportunity with a company. I'm not going to mention any names, that want to buy some, you know, some training videos or do some kind of, you know, collaboration on training videos. Now, this company only does electrical diagnostics. That's it, you know, engine lights, that kinds of stuff. In an effort to somewhat prepare myself for that, I've thought about attempting to do my own to present to you guys and try to get a feel for the, you know, I call it death by PowerPoint, but, you know, put together a PowerPoint presentation or slides that I can bring in up and down off the screen, but have them, you know, like legit stuff, you know, usable stuff, not just head knowledge, like, you know, what way electrons flow, how many electrons are in the outer orbit of, you know, the copper molecule, you know, what stuff that you see a lot in training classes, but it doesn't really benefit you. So I want to try to do something more practical, but it's all about time, and time at this point is like sand in my hands. It's just disappearing. So I'm going to try to see how I can orchestrate that. The stuff I do on YouTube now, I've become pretty efficient at it. So I can do my job, record my video, edit it, upload it, publish it in a relatively reasonable amount of time. So that's that. No, it's not Wells, Jaron. When things get set in stone, I'll let you guys know. So there is that. Is there a way to clean carbon from the valves and the valve seats without pulling the heads? Well, Dan, I would say, you know, your best bet is a reputable top-end engine cleaner is going to be the only way that I would know. There's hundreds of different types out there. I would probably do a little bit of research. I've had the best success with just seafoam, believe it or not. In some cases where I've actually fixed what I've actually 100% diagnosed as a hanging valve, particularly on older GMs, you know, older GM push rods, where you would have a valve start to, you know, hang up in the seat when it gets hot, or in the valve guide rather. No, it's not Bosch, it's not Cardone. So yeah, I definitely would do a top-end engine cleaning. Of course, if it's, you know, a GDI engine, you know, good luck. That stuff gets on there like concrete. You know, perhaps if it is GDI, you know, you're going to have to find a place that does walnut blasting if you want to remove all of it, would be my suggestion. My sugar habits cut way down too, VW Wrenchy. So I can't use it for an excuse today to not be able to speak. The words that are in my mouth, I'm using just pure exhaustion at this point. My feet hurt, my back hurts, I'm tired. So that's that. Let's see. Oh yeah, ice cream on the way home. Yeah, I know, the ice cream store is open. Hallelujah, it's open. So that covers that. And also the Jeep, you know, I bought this Jeep. I drove it for the first time since it's been delivered. Finally went and got it put on the road. It still sits out back. I drove it for a total of about a mile, went around the block with it, and that was it. And I really want to get rolling on, you know, Project Jeep and introduce that to you guys and kind of get that done throughout the summer. But realistically, by the time I get it done, I probably won't be able to drive it because it'll be winter time. But that's how the cookie crumbles. So there's that. And the other thing I did today, which I haven't done in a while, is I busted out some air tools, particularly the nanos, and I forgot how much I miss those things. I've been using the Harbor Freight Earthquakes, which have been fantastic. Great tools. The truck I was working on today, you know, the 1/2-inch gun was just a little too long. So I busted out the nano. I think we'll make the switch back to air tools. I'm not gonna lie. It was really nice. It was great, actually. I forgot how much more powerful they are than you know, than like the Earthquake or electric guns in general, and you know how much smaller they are. So yeah, I think I'm going back to that. I think I'm going back to air tools. I mean, but don't get me wrong, I do like my electric tools, and chances are when I'm doing wheels and stuff, I mean, you can see, you know, like the bottoms of the batteries. I mean, they get their use. The old 1/2-inch gun, she has gotten her workout. I approve this tool from the Harbor Freight. I've beat the living piss out of this thing. It's dropped, it's fallen. It does have a little chunk of plastic missing. Yes, it will pull Honda crankshaft bolts with the appropriate socket. I have no beef about this. If this thing broke, I would buy one again, hands down, no questions asked. Same thing for the 3/8 gun. I've had these for, you know, since before November. So November, December, January, March, April, May. So 6 months. My Milwaukee tools that I had, the 18-volt fuel series, they did not make it to the 6-month period. However, Harbor Freight did. I'll say that. I'm not easy on my tools, as you guys know. So that stands the test of time. I do a review on them, but there's hundreds of reviews out there on the YouTube about them. Take my word for it. If you're looking to buy one and you're a Joe homeowner guy, not using it all the time, that thing's gonna last the rest of your life. I use it every single day, and it pulls off, you know, 8 to 12 wheels a day at least, off and on, plus all the other stuff I use it for. I wish Harbor Freight would sponsor me and send me some, and I'd give them away to you guys. Let's see, and I guess that's it. So that's it for me. That's all I have to say to you. And yes, I called Crown. I got to take my truck in. It's probably going to end up being, so our Crown dealer, the one in Canandaigua that I go to up in Stanley, New York, they actually moved to a new facility a mile or so from where they were. So I'm going to go up there here in the next couple weeks, probably sometime. I don't even know what day it is. What is it, the 11th? Yeah, probably in like 3 weeks. Go up and get my truck resprayed. Yeah, I know some Harbor Freight stuff is junk. A lot of their tools are junk, but their Earthquake series electric impacts are fantastic. But yeah, some of their stuff is just garbage. Do I use hand wash paste after work? You are awesome. I don't know how to answer that, Herbert. I don't. I mean, I use regular hand washing soap. I use the stuff called Magic, which it is magical. It's $21 a bottle. It lasts me a very long time because you only need 1 squirt. It's on a little hand pumper. It is a walnut-based, soy-based cleaner, and it is fantastic. Of course, my hands are dirty right now, but when I clean them, I mean, they're like, you know, spotless. I could go do heart surgery if I knew how. If anybody has ever used the Snap-on hand cleaner, this stuff is very similar, except, you know, you're not paying, you know, the Snap-on price, whatever it may be. How often do I charge the Earthquake batteries? They're over here. They're hanging on the wall right there, hanging on the wall. So every time I get done using it, I just throw it up on the charger. That answers your question. So often, I guess it would be. Hang on there, folks. Oh, look at that focus. See the wrinkles on my hands. Let's see. Parts washer. My parts washer is serviced by a company called Safety Clean, and it's just whatever solvent they put in it. It's not your environmentally friendly, eco-friendly, you know, Aussie juice tank. It's the good stuff. Red Line Ready Smoke. Yes, I have to do a video on that. I did get a new smoke machine. I got to do the video on that. Oh my gosh. Don't depress me. Not that it depresses me. It's just one thing on the list. Yeah. That's funny, Keith. I won't repeat it. Oh, yeah. I did wear a different Jeep hat today. My other ones are in the laundry service. What else? Let's see what else is. There's Robinson's Auto. How's it going? How do I perform parasitic draw? I just did a video on that, Anthony. As a matter of fact, maybe a couple, 2-3 videos back called Why Does My Battery Die Overnight? I show in there a couple different methods of doing parasitic draw. So you can check that out. I have several other videos where I diagnose parasitic draw. So depends on the year of the vehicle. I either use an AM clamp or I send current right straight through my meter. Smoke machines are more than just evap diagnosis. That is 100% true, Kenneth. They can be used for various things. I've used them from finding, sunroof drain leaks, windshield leaks, intake manifold, vacuum leaks, exhaust leaks, you name it. All right, see you later, Diesel. Thanks for stopping by. Let's see. I think Keith has done some multi-air diagnosis, Jaron, but I haven't done any. I'm just going to kind of troll through the comments here, guys, because I don't really have a whole lot other to say than what I told you there in the beginning. Let's see. 13 Dodge Charger. I stopped driving it in 15. The gas tank was kind of full when I parked it. The battery's dead right now. Before I put the battery started, is there anything else I should do? I would probably drain every ounce of gas out of it if it was me. That would be my suggestion. 13. So what's that? Thing's been sitting. He stopped in 2015. I would, if it was me, I would get the gas out of it. Chances are, I wouldn't worry about it ruining the fuel pump, so I would probably use the fuel pump to pump it out if it was me, because that's going to be the easiest way to do it. The first thing I did. Yeah, and then perhaps I would, start it with the oil that's in it, and then, I would change the oil that day, but have I ever tried ZEP 45 as a loose nut? I don't know what ZEP 45 is. Is it a penetrating oil? If it is, no, I haven't. If it's anything else besides that, I haven't. We don't have any ZEP stuff around here. What was I going to say? I'm not really sold on any penetrating oil. WD-40 is pretty much the cheapest, so you buy that, but I have, Crown, I have Croyle, I've got some CRC stuff, I've got some generic stuff. You can spray anything here. The crap we deal with, you need a torch. I've always found in penetrating oils that, once you crack if you get it to crack loose, then some of them are better than others. I got Steve. Yeah, whew, man, that one was hanging on. So that's my thoughts on penetrating oil. I see some that, like say, if you're able to even get the bolt to crack loose and you douche it down, then yeah, this one works better. But as far as, this bolt won't turn, I'm going to spray it and let it sit for days. I don't think any of them work. Even, they just say it, people are going to hang me. Even a Croyle, I've used, cans and cans and cans of this stuff, and I've never been like, oh wow, that works way better than such and such. I've used PB, I've used, you name it, I've probably used most of them. So that's that. That's my thoughts on that. Yeah, the new Jeep hat. Well, let's see. I'm a one-man shop owner, and I'm looking for advice. I have to get new customers. Word of mouth so far has worked well, but I still have some slow weeks. Well, I know what you mean, Eric. Well, I shouldn't. Back when I first opened, that's how I opened. Came here, no advertising, no nothing. So I would say, word of mouth is your best advertisement. If you can even ask people, hey, if you are happy with our service. Can you tell your friends? I would say in today's day and age, social media, maybe not so much, the YouTube platform, but, Instagram, Twitter, stuff like that, try to get in, a local group. That's what I would say. But, word of mouth, honestly, is probably your best bet. That is where all my businesses come from. I've been open since, 2005. I've never paid for any type of advertising, outside of, what we do. I guess, yeah, I can't even think the words. I guess what I'm saying is, I don't advertise like in local papers and stuff, but perhaps that would work well for, for you in your area. If you had, a local paper that's distributed, throughout your potential customer or clientele region, maybe you could run a special, and have a, clip out coupon so you can see, does advertising local, does that benefit you? If nobody returns with any of these coupons, then perhaps that's not the way to go. But also don't sell yourself short is what I would tell you. Now, when I first opened, it was, difficult trying to attract the right type of clientele because, here you are, I'm not super busy, I'm only a day or two behind. Somebody comes in with some, turd bucket and wants you to do it for a nickel. You start doing that, then they tell their friends, and now all you have is customers that want to spend a nickel. Like I said, I'm not trying to discriminate or anything. I'm just saying, even if you're slow, perhaps, just be careful who you attract. Yeah, you can't use Google Plus. Nobody uses Google Plus. I just say it because that's the only social media I'm on. Google Plus and Facebook. Yeah, turd bucket. Yeah, you know what I mean, Brandon. I mean, it's like I say, I don't turn anybody away. I mean, if they come in, I just give them a price. Here's what the job is. I'm just very upfront with them. If you can, and some people will surprise you. They'll come in with an absolute pile of garbage, and you look it over. Here's your grocery list. You show them what's wrong with it and stuff. You're not ripping them off or anything. Just show them. And then some people will just surprise you. Be like, okay, yep, go ahead and fix it. Signed work order, ship it, and out the door. But just be cautious. Use your gut. Yeah, word of mouth is great if you do good work. That is 100% true, Daniel. And it will destroy you if you do bad work, because everybody will tell everybody if you do bad work. However, if you do good work, they don't seem to be as adamant to tell everybody. I don't know what's up with that. Put gas in a diesel vehicle. You won't even be able to pull away from the pump, Anthony. Used to fix those all the time when I worked for my dad. People would stop in there, stop at the gas station, fill it up with gas. They'd start it up. They make it about a half a mile down the road. Yep. Never underestimate how much somebody will spend on their auto, and that is true. And I tell you where that is very true is with air conditioning. Coming into AC season, I almost dread it, but people will go berserk. I mean, you bring this car, and this thing will be a rot box, bald tire, no brakes, bad ball joints. They will pay whatever it takes to have cold air coming out of that dash. So seems silly, but that's how it is. What do we got here? Oh, Helga says a guy at her work just pumped diesel on the gas. Well, that's not near as bad. At least that, it starts and runs and it blows white smoke until it quits, and nothing gets ruined. Fortunately, diesel typically it ruins them, especially on common rail. Now you're putting in injectors and everything else. So oh, the funnel buddy. Yeah, that's a funnel buddy on the wall back there. I love my funnel buddies. I bought them back, I think like 2006, 2007, somewhere's in there. And they've never broke. I mean, they're fantastic. I don't even know if they still make them. Oh man, JC said somebody put death in a diesel tank. Ouch. $5,000. Yeah, I believe it. Well, was it Jera? Yeah, I am. I'm not doing any more What's Up Wednesdays throughout the summer. I explained that earlier in the video, so you can, after this is over, you can kind of go back and see what's up with that. I do not have a Mohawk lift. Accidentally put gas in his Tesla. Oh, can I add a link to the funnel, buddy? As well as the scope on the rope? I can do that, Josh. After I get off here, I can throw a link on there, assuming they still make it. But yeah, no, if you have a have a shot, or even in your home garage, I mean, the funnel buddy is great because I very rarely use the funnel that's on it. I mean, I do occasionally, but a lot of times I'll use it to drip my them containers in there that look like a little tiki face, that guy right there, or I'll stick smaller funnels in it, or the tip off the fluid extractor I'll stick up there, just keep it from dripping on the floor. And it's amazing, like I'll empty that quart jug like twice a week, so that's kind of interesting to see how much oil you would have had normally just, I don't say on the floor sitting around, but sopped up in rags or something like that. Did I do Mrs. O's timing belt? You guys really want to know the answer to that? Of course I did. So I did on Mrs. O's van because she put it on the appointment book twice now. The first day, I ended up getting busy with other stuff. Of course, she crossed off the whole day, but then I got here and people started stopping in. Next thing you know, I didn't do anything to her van. But needless to say, she got an oil change, transmission oil change, brake fluid flush, power steering oil change. I fixed the air conditioner. I had a pinhole in one of the rear lines. I fixed the AC on it. Air filter, cabin air filter, timing belt, water pump. What else do we do? Rear wiper motor, again. Fixed a bunch of crap on it. I think all that's left now, I did spark plugs, serpentine belt. I think all I have left to do on it is adjust the valves and put the closer motor in one sliding door, but the closer motor hasn't acted up in months. I've got the new one, been sitting over there for months. So yes, it is. Her van is done. She's happy. She was happy before. So she'll keep feeding me that. Yeah, jacked upstairs. Well, she won't go get a new one, JC. That's what I told her. That's why I kept putting it off. I'm like, just go buy a new one. I know that's not the answer, but boy, it sure makes life easy for me. I even used Honda power steering fluid that you can get at the Car Quest. So I got some sitting there because I flushed out the power steering, did everything. Let's see. Lightning Schmoker. This guy is obsessed with this stuff. Lightning Schmoke. He's like a Crown fanatic. I think he works for Crown. What is your preferred way to get out coolant? Antifreeze, flush machine garden hose, disconnect radiator hose. I believe in flush chemical additive. I don't use any flush chemical additives. If I'm going to flush out a block, typically I use a garden hose. I'll take off whatever I need to take out, whether it's pulling out thermostat, whatever, thermostat, lower hose, whatever the configuration of the engine is, and then just full douche that baby. That's right, JC. Wow, 5-day marathon on a Ford, huh? Must have needed everything. JC's got some of the coolest stuff. I want to go hang out with him and just drive around in his Landau or Greydoll. Let's see. Bring up your wife's toilet. Town and Country needs everything. I believe it. That's TMI, Mr. White Stew. Do I have a brake fluid flush video? To a certain degree, I think I do, Michael, but I use a power flusher I've got the Brannick. I think I did. It's in one of my tool time videos. I have a Brannick pressure pot. That's what I use to flush out the brake fluid. There anything I can't fix? Plumbing, electrical, roof? No, any of the household stuff like that's no problem. If you work on cars, you can run PEX tubing and fix electrical. Uh-oh. Somebody got timed out. Let's see. Uh-oh. I'm going to be tackling my manifolds on my 4.6 F-150 1997. Watch your video. Super informative as always. Any header manufactured you like in general? As far as headers, I don't like any of them. If you're talking factory manifolds, oddly enough, the Dorman ones actually work. However, check to make sure that all the castings are open. Ran across that once. If you're going to put headers on it, get used to it ticking. Or, I see Fuzzy Wuzzy's on here. He's not banned. There he is. Boom. But needless to say, if you're going to put headers on it, good luck. I've put a lot of headers on. These kids that come in, put headers on. Their headers, their gaskets, everything from the cheap, black painted ones that rust out in 3 weeks to the fancy stainless ones, and it never fails. The bolts always come loose, or gaskets don't work. It's just constant, just trouble all the time. So I don't recommend headers. That's my thing. Hey, there's Fuzzy Wuzzy. Hey, I see Keith let me know, Fuzzy Wuzzy, that you got your own special video from your own special guy today. Congratulations. Snakeskin production in the house. Has Mrs. O stood up at the computer yet? Well, Snap-on tool, I think the first day she installed it, there was some standing up action. From there on out, I can't speak on the matter. Headers and chrome side pipes, yeah. Oh, gosh, man, it feels good to sit down. Let me tell you what. Oh, I have an intern coming in. Martin Hanna, shout out from Scotland. There he is. Yeah, you know who I'm talking about, Fuzzy. What's the last big meal I ate? Let's see, what do we have for lunch? Oh, I'm trying to think. Some cabbage. I can't think. Oh, chicken. Gosh, I had to think. Cabbage, like fried cabbage and Brussels sprouts, and half a chicken breast and watermelon. That's what we had for lunch. Oh, I eat big meals. Usually breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Well, Mrs. O cooks, so I eat. When she's not around, I starve. Which one of your children are most worried about turning 16s and being rebellious? Probably my oldest boy. That's what I would say. Cabbage from the garden? No, there's no garden. Well, I mean, there's a garden, but you plant your garden right now because we still get a frost in the morning. Evap. O2 neon small leak, not cap canister, maybe. I mean, you just got to find where the leak is, William. I mean, you could have anything from a leak in purge solenoid to, crack in one of the, rubber connections that hold the hoses together. That's really common on Chryslers. But, I mean, you almost have to be able to seal the system off and smoke it where the leak is. As far as guessing at a leak, that's ridiculous. Let's see what we got. Yeah. That's okay, Mike. You can screw up my live stream. It's no big deal. Oh, there's Glenn. Oh, man. Strawberry ice cream and a strawberry Fanta? Wow, I don't know about that, JC. I do my thing, man. I've been on these strawberry sundaes. That's usually what I get on my way home. Usually try to get a small one. But I do like those. I got to switch it up, though. Oh, yeah. Thanks for passing on Grandma's tips. I try to pass on Grandma's tips as much as I can. Oh, what do we got here? Check the fuel filler neck on neon. Yeah, I would assume you would have. I mean, it's, if you're looking for a small evap leak, to actually just physically see it with your eyes is, rather difficult. You almost have to, introduce smoke, be able to pressurize the system, somehow. Did I misspeak, Brian? Grandma's tips, TIPS. Oh, White Castle. Gut bombs, yeah. The diarrhea. I have no idea what temperature rating underhood wire loom is. I mean, if I was to buy it, I'd get at least 300 degree because, I mean, your coolant runs 200 degrees. So you have that hot air or more. Most of your high-speed fans don't even kick on till 220. So I think if you're asking a question whether, which you would buy, definitely buy the higher temperature rated. That would be my opinion. No, I haven't seen Ivan in a while. Not since he got his new job. Oh, I didn't do the video on that, John. I just I had her van in here the one day after she rescheduled it the second time and just took care of everything. If I made a video on it, it would have slowed me down way too much. Did I use my wire tie gun yet? Yes, I did. That is a good question, VW. I used it on, what did I have? I had an F-150 in here the other day at 13, something like that. It was a Bilstein. 13. It had Bilstein shocks on it, and it had the blue rubber boots. When I put it on lift, I see both the rubber boots were just kind of hanging down. The shocks mount upside down. So I, pushed the rubber boot on, and then I pulled the zip. I was like, man, I kind of want to hold it here and tighten this. I was like, reached down in the box here, busted her out, cranked it up to a level 3. It's got a little dial on there. Brought it up to level 3. Worked like a charm. Older Super Duty. Oh, I'm not a diesel guy. I'll tell you right now. I left that trade a long time ago. I need to reseal my turbo oil passage. Would like to see this a lot more on the 7.3. Yeah, you'll not see me working on, especially an older 7.3. So appreciate it, super chat, but I'm not a diesel guy, which you will learn from watching any of my videos. I used to be back in the day. I still have a lot of tools for them older 7.3s. Yep. Get the fuel pump out without pulling the turbo. Used to do turbo pedestals and turbos and heads and injectors and high pressure oil pumps and pickup tubes. And I hate diesels, man. What else we got? Do I have any tips on how to cut nuts with a torch? You got to be committed, Ernest, and you got one chance to do it. So if you got the nut on a bolt, which usually I got something kicking around here, when you're up there, and you heat up that nut, as soon as that sucker hits, starts sparkling, just go across it with a torch just real quick before it transfers the heat to the nut or to the bolt. Now, if you don't get it on the first try, you got to wait for that thing to cool down all the way before going back for round 2. A little bit of practice, you can get it, but you shouldn't have any problem cutting a nut off a stud without hitting the stud. Head gasket fix in a bottle. Any thoughts? I think it's a waste of money. That would be my thought. I don't really have any other thoughts on that. You can't expect, if you have a blown, severely blown head gasket to have some, magic and it can fix it. Now, perhaps in the right situation, it may provide temporary relief. I believe Scanner Danner's brother did a video on that on like his mom's car or something that, had a pretty bad blown head gasket. They dumped some of it in, per directions, they drained it and did whatever they had to do. And I think they got like an extra, week or 2 out of it or something. But, I can't fathom that any of it works. But if you watch the Scotty Kilmer channel, of course, he will tell you that, it does scream at you for 2 minutes and 10 seconds and about your head gasket repair in a bottle. I fix blown head gaskets with new head gaskets. Yeah. Yeah. Like Rob was, yeah. If you want to plug the heater core, radiator, coolant passages, dump it in. Scotty was drinking that day. I think he's drinking in all his videos. Highly entertaining, though. I'll give him that. I can't comment on him because he has me banned. Oh, well. Yeah. When you see a guy weld freaking sway bar bushings back to the frame of a truck, get real. Oh, that's an easy one, Sean. 07 Compass, when you top off the fuel tank, drives, sputters, and stalls, do you know any remedies? You highly likely have a purge solenoid that's failed and stuck open. I assume this does this right after you leave the fuel pump, or after you leave, from getting fuel. That is pretty common. I'm surprised you don't have a check engine light on, though, to be honest with you. Typically, they'll start throwing evap codes. I think Keith would probably agree, but if your purge solenoid is stuck open and you fill up with gas, and of course, all the hydrocarbons in the charcoal canister, as soon as you start it, things are going to cough and puke, and until it evacuates the canister, and then of course, usually at that point, it starts running lean. Let's see. Yeah, Scotty uses a cigar for evap leaks. Yeah. I thought the purge solenoid on those is pretty common to go bad, but I would be surprised if you didn't have an engine light on. Oh, Creative J is from Rome. That's up north. Yingling is my beer of choice. Nope. Oh man, new level. He's quick. Cheap $2 cigar. Yeah, what do you want? It's a Jeep. Exactly. It's a Jeep thing. I took mine for one trip around the block, got a puddle of oil, puddle of antifreeze out there. I haven't heard from Rob from One Auto lately. No. Yingling, is that Chinese beer? No, it's not. It's American, man. What else we got? What brand shocks would you run on the front of your 01 Chevrolet 1500? I don't know. I mean, I've put a lot of Monroe shocks, the Monroe reflexes. I've put a lot of them on the front of those pickup trucks. Really depends on what you're going to do with it, what kind of ride you want. I like Bilstein shocks. Like when I do my own personal vehicles, I either use, OEM or Bilstein, which I prefer. They're a little spendy, but great shock. Yep, Jeep just empty every pocket. In the terms, see which you prefer in terms of easier to work on and reliability, Sienna or Honda Odyssey? I would say the Odyssey is a little easier to work on than the Toyota, in my opinion, particularly when it comes to the timing belt. Simply because here, and I don't know if this is just geographics our area, because of corrosion, you'll bring in like the Siennas and do a timing belt, and they have them two really long bolts that run down through the side mount of the engine, and those bolts run to this big aluminum housing, and you can never get them out. Whenever I quote those jobs out, I quote the two bolts, the bracket, and then the bracket that bolts to the engine. I always try to get them out. You can't get them out. I've spent hours heating, beating, air hammering, twisting, and then eventually you get the bolt to turn, but when it comes out, it pulls every single thread with it, and that's the end of it. Now, some of them I've gone over there with a 1/2-inch gun and zing, zing, they both come out, way you go. So I always just quote the job with all three of those pieces. And then what I'll do is I'll take, usually take cutoff wheel, cut through the bracket, get the top piece of the bolt out, pull the aluminum, spacer out. And, it does add some extra time. No, I never did. I never did anything with the trunk lid on the Civic. So actually, Casey, that was actually missing a lot of clear coat. So, buffing it wouldn't have done anything. It actually needed to be, have new clear coat reapplied or be repainted, whatever you do there. $180K, too many miles on a Prius. I don't know, McTech. I don't work on any hybrids because we don't have them in our area, or very very little work as far as their longevity. I wouldn't know. On a Kia crankshaft 2-wire, how many volts do you get? Snap-on component info lied. I don't know, Bill. That would be, an AC sine wave. I would assume start, run, idle, probably around 2 volts, 2.5 volts, something like that. Of course, amplitude and frequency will increase with speed. KFC versus Churches versus Popeyes versus Bojangles. I'm assuming you live out on the West Coast. We don't have any of those here. I've never ate at any of those places on that list. But just because it sounds cool, I would have to say Popeyes or Bojangles. Oh man, these guys are saying KFC. What Alltel motto would you buy to do everything a dealer can, or pretty much? The Alltel will not do all that the dealer can. No way, shape, or form. If you believe that, I would not buy that tool. It is, it's a good tool, but like all scan tools, it has its problems. Whether you buy Alltel, you buy Launch, you buy any of them. Snap-on, I don't care who makes it, it's going to have problems. None of them, no aftermarket tool is as good as the OEM tool. It's the bottom line, and that's a fact. There's nothing you can do about it. I have the MS908. I'm happy with it. It has its issues. I also have, several, or not several, I have a couple other factory scan tools, and it doesn't compare to them. KFC and Popeyes are in New York. Not Western New York, Hickville, Blazer. We have, what do we have? Arby's, McDonald's, Burger King, and Taco Bell, and Subway. That's the only thing close by me. There's a Wendy's in Corning. Stop by there and grab a Baconator once in a while. Yeah, Robbins, they do remove stuff. They remove stuff. They add stuff. Like the other day, I had to go to a shop. They put in a new DEF tank in a 3500 Chevy. Is like a 2013 Chevy. They put in a new DEF tank, a new, the transfer pump module and all that crap that goes on it. Because apparently it sprung a leak, they said. So they changed everything, but whatever. The Alltel did not have, even in the glow plug control module. So once you put that stuff in, you have to go through and turn each individual heater on, so it'll run the test and it will turn off. It'll stop derating the engine. So I went in, you the glow plug module. It's not there. It used to be, but now it's not. It's not under the reductant system, and it's not in the glow plug control module. I grabbed the Tech 2, go in the glow plug control module, and there it is. All 3 reductant heaters went through 1, 2, 3, turned them on, boom, done. So yes, they do take stuff off the Alltel, then it'll be on there. So 98 Elantra sometimes gets locked out of first and reverse. Doesn't matter what I try, I can't force it. Have to press on the clutch again to get it in the gear. What I would do, Alvaro, if that was me, I would shut the vehicle off and see if it goes into first or reverse at that point. If it does, then you have a problem with the clutch disc not releasing. That's about all I can tell you on that subject. If you have the truck, if you have the car running, the fact that you let off the clutch and push down the clutch again, it tells me that, perhaps, the slave cylinder is pumping up, maybe the slave cylinder is failing, master cylinder is failing, something like that. But if you can, at the point you cannot get it into gear, I would just shut the car off, see if it slides into gear. If it does, then the transmission is not stopping for some reason. The input shaft, whether it's seized on the pilot bearing, the clutch disc isn't releasing, something along those lines. Yours keeps freezing up on you, Michael. I haven't had any issues with my Altel freezing up. What I would do, perhaps if I was you, you may just do a factory reset on it. You're going to want some good, good internet, because if you do a factory reset on it, it's going to delete everything basically back to where the tool started. So when you first boot it up, you're going to have to repair it with your VCI, and then once you get it, repairing it through the Bluetooth, once all that's done, then go through and do all the updates. But it'll probably take a couple hours to get all the updates on it. That's just a guess. Huh? Yeah. Honestly, I don't have a ton of issues with mine. It has its problems, but I don't have, I'm not ready to wing the thing across the shop. And typically, if I find an issue with the Altel, I almost certainly always find the issue with the launch. I don't know if all the, if the Chinese, they're just bootlegging the software anyways. So I'm sure everybody's using it. It's hard to say. I don't know what these companies do. Oh yeah, and don't do a hard restart on it unless you have an active subscription. I take that for granted. Good thing you mentioned that, Keith. Yes, do not reset it unless you have paid for your year subscription. Otherwise, you will not be able to update it. Yeah, that's right. Oh, and if you paid $5,000 for it, you paid way too much. You can get one of those for half of that. And if yours is 908p, you wasted your money, in my opinion, for the J-Box. You should have got that like through AE Tools or somebody where you would have had tech support with it. You could have got a Drew Tech. Do I have a favorite spark plug or just vehicle specific? It depends on what vehicle goes in VW. I usually use OEM. If it came with NGKs, I use NGKs, Denzos, Motorcraft, Delcos. I don't convert anything over. I know some guys are like, oh, I hate Champion, I hate Delco, I hate my life. I'm just like, well, if it came with Motorcrafts, that's what I put in it. Occasionally what I'll do is if you have a customer that is putting a lot of miles on it, and let's say they have an older vehicle that came factory with single platinum, we might say if it was AC Delco single platinum, I'll just put the double platinums in it and just give them longer service interval. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. But I don't get into all the hype of all these special plugs, and if they fire, it's not misfiring. Move on. Yeah, Keith should call it the Awesome Tell. Thanks for that random stuff. I appreciate that. Oh, what do I have against Chevys? Oh, I don't have anything against Chevys, Kevin. The only reason sometimes I'll rip on Chevys is because Chevy people are the easiest people to get wound up. And I just like stirring the pot. You can come on here and crap on Chryslers. Everybody knows they're junk. And nobody cares. But you say something about Chevy, man, these guys, they want to burn your house down. I'm going to kill you. I actually have a guy who sends me messages like that. Yep. He sends me really nasty messages. It's pretty funny, though. I always humor him. He's too much of a coward to comment on, any videos because he knows he'd get ripped apart. But yeah, you can love Chevys, man. They're all junk when they're broke. It don't matter what brand it is. Chevy, Toyota, Nissan, whatever. If it's broke and leaves you hoofing, it's junk. Oh, John, you have a Dodge Intrepid. I'm sorry. Please hope it's not a 2.7 liter. Yeah, they're all junk. Yeah, here we go, beating up on Chevys again. See, Snakeskin, he says he's a Chevy guy, and they're junk. But that's the way it is. Oh, so I bought a yeah, it's easy to hide behind a computer screen. Yeah, he sends me messages about, I don't know, keep your opinions to yourself. If you don't like Chevy, like this guy's obviously a big boner for Chevys. Whatever. I used to drive GMs, I don't care. But I know the difference too. Like you go out and you drive, let's say you had all like 2015, you had a Chevrolet in here with a 5.3, and then you had a same year, Tundra with the 5.7 and the Dodge with the, the Hemi and the 5.7. You go out and drive them, give them the beans, you just know like which one's got more shit and get, I guess, to put it nicely. You can tell. I mean, it's pretty clear, pretty obvious. But so that's that, whatever. Some guys are Ford guys. I don't service a ton of Fords, but yeah, Astro Nano for the win. That's right, William. Which vehicles would you say have the worst brake lines through problems? Now, I don't want to get on my Chevy kick, but Chevrolets, I do more brake lines on General Motors products than anything, but it could be, my geographics. I have a lot of General Motors customers. They do seem to rot the fastest, so I got countless numbers of the brake line kits on the Chevy pickups. I actually didn't mind, I don't mind doing them. Those are gravy jobs, and bring them in. 5 hours later, things out the door, all brand new stainless lines, front to back. They fit beautifully, looks good. Yep. Then you got J.C. Smith over there. He's a big Ford guy. He likes them Fords. Yeah. But we get salt here too. So salt doesn't discriminate. It don't care what badge is on the front of it. So I see problems that some people don't see depending on where they live. I mean, you live in the Sunshine State or anywhere southwest of New York, you're probably not seeing what I see. Some, perhaps maybe Chevys last longer if they don't rot in half. I don't know. Brake lines last forever in Georgia. Oh man, I wouldn't even know what to do. I've actually wore out a brake flaring tool. I wore the shaft out of it. So you have the tool or the brake line holder, and then the die. Of course, I've broke a lot of dies, but the actual forcing cone, and it's a good set. It's a Mayhew set, so it's a very good brand. I actually wore out the forcing screw, and I've done so many brake lines. Yeah. You own a Rutan. No, you own a Dodge Caravan with a Volkswagen symbol on the front. Is what you own. There is nothing Volkswagen about that thing whatsoever. As you mentioned, you inherited all the problems: the tip plum, the wind, cracking coolant pipe. Yep. Yeah, Toyota. Yeah, they had the big recall on the frames a while back. You used to drive by the Toyota dealer and they'd have piles of frames out there. I felt bad for them guys. I'm like, that must suck. These guys coming in that want, get the frame replaced for free. Ugh, glad I wasn't a Toyota guy. Yep, NICOP brake lines. That's right, Justin. If you're changing brake lines, NICOP. The population of the area I live in is, I think, like 1,200 people. Any tips on removing brake caliper bolts from an Impreza STI Brown calipers without stripping the caliper threads? I don't know, Mike. I mean, short of seeing the job, I mean, if you're talking just the two bolts that go into the caliper bracket, I mean, I know Subarus, they always break the heads off, which is no big deal because if you're doing rotors too, usually what I'll do, sometimes I'll bust out a torch, I'll heat up the bottom of the caliper bracket and get the bolt out. But more often than not, just stick an impact on 17 mil socket, pow, pow, snap the heads off both of them. And then just pull the whole bracket, caliper, and rotor off all in one shot. And then you just have the little stubs of the two pieces you broke off sticking out, grab them with a pair of vice grips and spin them out. Sometimes that's a lot easier than taking a chance of, getting back there with a torch and heating up and, accidentally, getting the ABS wire, CD boot, something like that. That's typically what I do on those Subis. Do I want a Subaru Impreza WRX? No, I don't. Oh, what's Keith saying? I'm not subtly ignoring Keith, but is he saying something here? I'll wait for him to come across, because if he's saying something funny. Torch have Brembo brakes. I don't care. I don't care what kind of brakes they are, Michael. They come in, bolts are stuck, need torch. I don't care if it says Lamborghini on it. What are you going to do? You know, you got to do something. That's what I've always said. You know, if you got a problem and, you know, sitting there staring at it, you got to do something. Nobody else is going to come in here and fix it. So if the bolts are frozen, it's rusty turd, if you got heated up, you do what you got to do. I mean, you can spray it with Panther Pea and wait for months. Maybe that'll work. I don't know. That's just my thoughts. Scared of open flames around brake fluid? Good luck lighting it. Yeah, my neck of the woods, it would be rusted to crap. That's right. That's, you know. When you click on the AC, it backfires on a 97 Grand Cherokee. Wow, I would like to see that. I don't have any ideas right now, Steve. That's interesting, unless it's, you know, disrupting the ignition somehow when that relay kicks on, or when it kicks off, perhaps. That's pretty interesting. I wouldn't even know. You know, nothing I've ever seen. Oh, do you mean misfire? Oh, okay. I was gonna say, man, if it backfires, that'd be pretty neat. Maybe it is misfire. Oh man, you haven't touched a torch in that long, Hayward? Lucky you. I wear out a torch set. Yeah, we did talk about that, DJ Ambrosia. You know, I was saying to the guys here earlier that things tend to go in spurts. Right now, I'm just bombarded with mechanical repairs. But then I've seen it again where it turns around and it's just, you know, week after week of, you know, diags. So I just, you know, take it as they come. I try to record what I can for you guys if stuff comes in. I do have a couple of diag videos coming up, I believe. If they turn out to be something, you know, worthy of recording, most of the stuff has been pretty elementary. What has more rust underneath it? I would say the Odyssey does. My truck's pretty clean. Where's the Jeep? We talked about that, Keith. It's out back. It's been sitting. I've only drove it like a mile. Let's see. So you're thinking PCM dial, Keith. That's what I was wondering, is when the AC clutch shuts off, you know, if that's when he's getting the back feed. Yeah, pretty impressive for a Jeep. Yeah, it did get a whole mile. Smelled kind of like burning oil and such. TDM is against my Jeep. Is there any jobs you don't do and send out? If somebody wants to have, I don't rebuild automatic transmissions in the shop. So if they're, you know, adamant to have their transmission rebuilt instead of, you know, buying a reman, something like that, I always give them a choice. You know, I can pull it. You can take it to a rebuilder of your choice. But that's about it. That's the only thing I send out. And that very rarely happens. Oh, that is Paul from Brazil. And he says he never misses a video. Very good. Thanks, Paul, or Paulo, I guess it would be. Do you ever go help your diesel bro get caught up at his work? Nope. Sometimes I go down and drink coffee and watch him work, and I'll run around frantically and piss and moan about being behind. But if he needs help, yes, I will. I do go down and help. If he asks me for help, I go down and help him. Oh yes, diesels. Gosh, sorry, Watchman. Yeah, any major diesel work, I'll service diesels, brake stuff like that. But I mean, if they need, head gaskets, injectors, stuff like that, I send them out. I don't do them. What does a -25 long-term field trim mean? That means your vehicle is running, it's making up for a rich condition, I guess would be the technical way to put that to you. It is trying to cut back on fuel because of too much fuel, or at least that's what it's seeing. Are Jeeps dependable? Oh, absolutely not. No, there's no polar bears here, Al Gore. We're cutting off Cadillac converters, cut down on them. Why are you ignoring me? I'm not ignoring you. I'm not answering everybody's questions either. I don't know if it's a GM, Keith. I believe his name was something Chrysler, like Chrysler guy or something. There's Michael Owen creeping on us. Is there anything dependable these days? No, thankfully. Common squeak issue on the back end of a Focus. Boy, I don't know lightning smoke. I don't have a lot of customers coming in having me do NVH stuff. These cars clunk, bang, rattle. They ain't gonna pay somebody to fix it unless it's falling off. He's taking a shot every time I say rust. Rust, 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 rust. Somebody better call an ambulance. Oh, I bought a couple new guns. Super happy about that. Got me a Glock 43 and a Glock 42. So I'll bring them in and show you guys next time what's up when I don't have one here today. I got my M&P shield with me today. Haven't carried the shield in a while. But I do like that Glock 43. I don't know if any of you guys shoot, but the Glock 43 seems to shoot really well. The 42 does also. I haven't shot that near as much. I put 400 or 500 rounds through the 43, and it shot really well. That's pretty. But I shoot it just, and I think it's because of the size of the frame on it. I shoot it just a tick to the left, like the 5 and 7 yard line. I'm like an inch to the left, and it frustrates the crap out of me. My H is a 1945. Do I keep one in the pipe? Yes, I always keep my gun loaded. Yeah, I do shoot my M&P shield better than I shoot the Glock 43, but I've shot thousands of rounds through that handgun, and that I do like that one a little better. I've always favored it, but again, that is a little longer, longer handle on it. 8-shot versus 6, so it just fits my hand a little better. So I ordered some grip for my Glock 43. I want to see if I got to try to start correcting, my elevation is perfect, but it's like an inch to the left. And, I've tried everything from, different finger positioning because the gun is small. So I tend to go through to the second pad on my finger instead of the fingertip. I've tried, numerous things, as far as grip and, being very diligent on trigger pulls. Like I say, my groups are beautiful. I mean, the thing just throws them in there. It doesn't matter what you feed it either. I can't complain about that. When did I went live? I went live at 5:30-ish. Yes, we can carry concealed, KC. You do have to have a permit, however. You can't be a criminal. Got the ammo in upside down. I'll rotate them all 180 degrees then. All right, see you later, JC. Take care. Oh, hey, what? I've thought about you can actually drift the rear sight on it, Black Tree, and I've actually thought about that. But oddly enough, my M&P Pro, which is full size 5-inch gun, I shoot that the exact same way. I'm an inch and a half to the left at both of the, at the same yardages. So I would rather correct an error on my end instead of compensating for, a bad habit, perhaps. I don't know. Perhaps it's just my tendency, just the way, my way I'm built to, to hold it like that. So I don't know. I'm been doing research on it, been trying different things, and I've learned a lot from YouTube. Watching, a lot of various guys and learn a lot of tricks, trying to apply it, see. But the fact of the matter is you have to do also to a certain degree what's natural or what is repeatable or easily repeatable. That's the thing, Watchman. So I thought about a fatter grip. I've looked at Hogue grips, but I don't want to get outside the realm of the reason I bought the handgun. It's a single stack, it's skinny. I don't want to make it too chunky to carry, but you have to be accurate. Vickers Tactical. I haven't seen that channel. Yeah, I know the sights are adjustable, Michael, but like I say, way back when I first started shooting handguns, of course, being a right-handed shooter, and I always had a tendency, shooting low and left until you really start learning, trigger control, grip control, being able to move one finger without squeezing the rest, all that stuff, front sight focus, and have improved substantially. But that's why I want to just make sure, if this is me, then. And that's the thing, like I don't want to change my sight picture, whether I'm using a dead on hold or a 6 o'clock hold. You don't want to say, yes, I can aim an inch to the right. You don't want to have to think when it comes down to it, in my opinion. Had to go save a John Deere from a cow pasture. Gotta grab the hip waders and go. All right, Ian, have fun. Don't get too crappy. Can I say hello in Mexico? Hello, Mexico. I don't know how to speak Spanish. Hola, maybe. Hola. Look up wall drill to help with trigger control. Okay. No, you do. I think every 5 years you got to renew your concealed carry permit, something like that. Something they just put in place of the Safety Act, as they're trying to, of course, ban everything. No, she doesn't have steak on the grill. Trust me, I know. Yeah, 5 years. Every 5 years. I know it was kind of a big deal here for a while, but hola, ¿cómo está? ¿Qué pasó? Wagner, Centrix, or Monroe for brake pads and hardware. So must be, I know where you're shopping. Gosh, I've used Monroe for a long time. The Wagner still scare me just because of how many problems I had with them in the past. Of course, now I do know that, they've redesigned all their pads. I don't know. I don't know what to answer you on that. I would probably go with the Monroes. You don't have any guns? Wow, that sucks. I love shooting handguns, rifles, shotguns. I shoot a lot, thousands of rounds a month. I'm not into, military guns or, what they consider assault rifles, stuff like that. I just have, purposeful guns, I would assume, or I would call, whether they're carry guns, self-defense, or, for hunting primarily. So I don't own any, like AR-15s or SKSs or AK-47s or, anything like that. I've never really had much of a use for them. I don't mind shooting them. Like if some friends have them, they're pretty fun to shoot. But other than that, I wouldn't. I've never got really into that craze. How many genders are there? Like genders, there's 2, boys and girls. Yeah, only terrorists have guns and police in Northern Ireland. Yep, and you're just a helpless civilian. Do I bird hunt? Occasionally. I am starting to get a fair amount of grouse around our place, and as much as I'd like to go out and get some of them, I'm hoping that they populate a little more because they're kind of sparse in our area. Same thing with pheasants. So other than that, duck hunting. Crossman 760. Oh yeah, the old 10 pump BB gun, man. That's a great gun. Triggers. What's trigger? Oh, careful there. Where am I triggering? Oh, the PK 380. That's a nice little handgun, Eric. Oh yeah, turkey hunting. I forgot those are birds. Let's see. A Chevy Astro van, man, I haven't seen one of them things in forever. Like when they quit making them, like 94, 95, something like that. I don't know. Been a long time. I haven't seen one of them. The Astro vans were pretty cool. You get them in 4-wheel drive and the 4.3. Terrible to work on though. $760. WD-40. That's funny, Mike. So my boy Gavin, he has a Red Ryder, just a single shot, and they shoot it around, up at the pond and stuff like that. And he, I showed him that trick, a couple drops of gun oil on, on the piston, you get a little extra power out of it. He brought that thing back one day, and the freaking oil is just running right out of this gun. And he was target practice stuff. I'm like, Gavin, what happened to your gun? And I'm oiling it. It gets more power. So apparently, like every shot, you crack open some oil, close your back shut, you take a shot, open her back up. So his little rider is well lubricated. Yeah, we don't see Astromans around here. No, they've long since been in the crusher. Nope, my brother, my middle brother, he doesn't hunt. My oldest brother does, but oddly enough, I don't hunt with him. Actually, I hunt with one of my friends, my friend Rob, him and his son. And of course, now my boys are getting older, so. It'll smoke that much. That's right. The Crown is holding up on the Toyota great, which I'll make a follow-up video on that. Are me and Scotty Kilmer in good terms? I don't know. I don't think so. We're in 2 totally different categories, to be honest with you. Of course, he's got me banned from his channel, but he's like down here, hack mechanic entertainer, and I'm, shop owner. We're gonna fix it right. So that's just how it is. Yeah, he's super popular because he relates to the majority. Everybody wants a 3-minute video because they have attention span of a squirrel, and they want to know that they can fix it for a nickel. And that's it. So, which is, totally not true, but that's the world we live in today. Yes, there is age restrictions on hunting in New York. You can start small game hunting in New York, of course, accompanied by an adult, the age of 12, and then you can start big game bow hunting at the age of 14, but you're quite restricted until you're, I believe, 16. You're not allowed tree stands. Adult has to be, a certain distance from you, stuff like that. There's quite a few rules. Yeah, I mean, the guy, yeah, he puts compression fittings on brake lines and, you know, whatever. That's his deal. If he wants to do, you know, crappy work like that, then go for it. Yeah, of course you get sucked into watching it. Who doesn't have 2 minutes and 30 seconds to watch how to rebuild an engine, you know? Yeah, attention span of a squirrel, that's it. uh, have I ever seen the Russian mechanic? Like other than Ivan, no. Oh yeah, I remember that video, Keith. Yeah. He's like something to do with a purge solenoid, something like that. Yeah, everybody got banned. Call him out on his BS. You know, he'll sit there and show you like, you know, this is a control module off a car. Ah! Scream, jump out of a garbage can, and he's holding like some random part, but people don't care. You know, when you're pulling 7 digits a year off YouTube, he can do whatever he wants. Go for it, man. What certification does New York require for mechanics to work on cars? 0, Zippo. You just need to have money, tax ID number, and pay your taxes. I gotta go let Sheba out. Hold on, folks. Hold on. You can come out of here. There you go. Going crazy. All right, you guys just hold her down. I'll be back. I'll let Sheba outside. What? Yeah, I forgot she was even in the office. Man. Oh, where are we at here? Scotty Kilmer mock Connor. No, I'm not gonna make a video and mock the guy. I mean, anybody that knows anything, you watch his videos, it doesn't take you long to figure it out. Oh yeah, New York. Yeah, you do have to have your EPA 609 if you want to do AC for hire. Of course, you need it everywhere. Or if you want to buy, you know, cylinders over what, 1 pound, something like that, 3 pounds, 2 pounds. I don't know. Hannah is coming back. I think she starts next week. A couple days, 2-3 days a week, something like that. He's not even a mechanic, just spewing baloney. That's pretty much it. But yeah, it works. Does Hannah crown in the spring? She's gonna. She actually had hers done late last year, and she is gonna get it done this spring or early summer. They make you jump through so many hoops to get to AC. You just have to be certified as all. It's an open book test, costs you $20. These shops around here that are like, oh, I'm never gonna get it. That's bullshit. You know, it's $20, dude. Do it. It's an open book test. You don't even have to study. You just do it online. You know, it's a piece of cake. Yeah, you go on, you pay your 20 bucks, 5 minutes later, you're done. You read the first question, you press Control F, you highlight it, you copy it, boom, bam, there it is. It finds it for you on the page. Select your answer, you know. It's the stupidest thing ever. It's just a bunch of useless ASE knowledge. Well, thanks, Bill. You're welcome for whatever I did. What time does the ice cream stand close? That is 9 o'clock, Justin. Hannah's car is fine since we fixed it. It's never left her hoofing it since. Sheba is about, let's see, she's got to be about 4 years old. How old are you, Sheba? He says 4. Oh, when am I starting to plate wall? I've actually got quite a pile in there, Mr. D. I am going to start the plate wall. I'm deciding how I want to do it. If I want to lay them up alphabetically and then leave open spots for what I need, or actually do kind of a layout of the U.S. and outlying countries and do it that way. I didn't do the video on Mrs. O's time belt, Michael. I just didn't have time. Yeah, let's see. He likes his brake clean a little too much, probably. Scrap pile is getting full. That pile over there on the floor, I mean, that's today's pile. Let's see, where are you here? Over there by the black drum. That's today's pile. What we got? We got what, 2, 4, 6 rotors over there, a couple axles, 2 control arms, some ball joints, and then the bucket's full of pads. And Sheba's winking at you. Look at her. Wink, wink. Yeah. So. Oh, Eric the car guy welded the ball joint. That's over on the other side. You play PS4, Glenn? Are you serious? I thought you just acted like a kid. I'm just kidding. Do you really? Yeah, I know. I should do another scrap run, but I just don't have time. I do them when I'm bored or want to buy a new gun. And I went over my gun budget this month anyways. I do have Oklahoma plate, Michael. Thank you for asking. Hannah, yeah, Hannah's actually gonna be here Tuesday. I think she texted me because, what'd she say? Said something about something here. Asking me something. Must be she broke the windshield in her car. I think that's what it was about. Yeah, because she said the place's Safe Light's coming to put in the windshield on Tuesday. So must be she got a broken windshield. I don't think I have do I have a mass plate? Well, I'm not sure. I got to get the wall up and done so I can see what we're missing. West Virginia. I got Virginia plates. I don't think of West Virginia, though. Yeah, I'll get the wall all done up, and then we'll see what's there, what's not. You know, see what's missing. Oh, how many guns do I own? I don't know. Enough. Not enough. I want to buy a 6.5 Creedmoor rifle this year. I've been really debating on what to get, you know, for new deer hunting rifle. You know, I was either going to go 7mm or 6.5 just to have something with really high bullet coefficiency. And I think I've settled on the 6.5. Oh, we have several Canadian plates. I have an Illinois plate. I think I have a Mississippi plate on the wall. No, it's a Missouri plate over there right now. I do have Michigan ones. I do have a project car. It sits out back. I got my Jeep out there. Got to get started on it. It's not really a project when it's just sitting there for the time being. Like I said, I just drove it for the first time the other day, but yeah. So I have looked at some of the Savage models, David. I'm not 100% sure what I'm going with because I'm a big time. I like my Remington 700 actions. So I'm debating, whether, do I buy something from, a custom rifle shop or, I don't know exactly what I'm going to do yet, but I have determined I'm going to go with the Creedmoor. All right. I'll make sure she gets her ice cream money. Well, no, the government always knows what guns you have because every time we buy a gun, whether it's a handgun or a rifle or a shotgun, you have to have a background check done. So they're all registered. Oh, I have lots of Florida plates. Yep. I believe I have a Washington plate. Yes. Yeah, and that's what I've noticed, 2 black trees. So that's probably why I'm going to skew away from that. Yeah, and I don't think I want to go with the, with the Magnum. Stephen, I was thinking like, 7mm Remington Ultra Mag, but I don't know, going with the Creedmoor, bottom line. Yep, that's set in stone. I do not have a plate from Northern Ireland. Yes, I've owned a couple CJs. My favorite one was my Scrambler, my CJ8. Kind of bow do I have? Is that a trick question? People used to always ask that. Yeah, I've used my Remington 700 and 270. I've probably harvested over 100 deer with that rifle, and it's a great gun. It's a fantastic, the 270, it's just a neck down 30-06, and it's just a fantastic cartridge. I've never had an issue. Do I have any pencil style air grinders? I must not have. I mean, I have straight air grinders, die grinders. I have straights and 90s and 45s. Oh, Remington 870. Oh man, I took my very first deer when I was 16 years old with a Remington 870. I still have the shotgun. It was the first shotgun I ever owned, and I've got those, Remington 870. Of course, that's a smoothbore 870 Express, and both barrels for it, full choke set. And on that gun, I actually have a Leupold 2-to-4 power duplex on it. And I was actually just talking to my friend Rob about that because my property at home it's a really small piece of property. It's only 40 acres. And I don't really like hunting on it with a rifle. I primarily bow hunt around home. I'm very conscientious of, neighboring properties, stuff like that. And it's a difficult property to hunt with, high powered rifle if you're conscientious about your shot and your backstop, which I am. And it kind of sucks because when you hunt that property, it's on a side hill, and unless you're hunting from a stand with a rifle, it's difficult to hunt, spots of the property that are, good deer spots, and make safe shots. So this year, I'm either going to hunt it, with a 20 gauge shotgun, or I would like to pick up 44 mag, like in a Super Red Hawk, and either hunt it with a shotgun or a pistol, and just be a little bit safer. What am I missing here, Keith? How much is an acre here? Depends. If it's tillable land, I mean, some guys are getting 2,000 or 3,000, but most property, I would say, if you're getting it for $1,000 an acre or something like that. Well, I'd say only 40 acres, Patrick, because I mean, around here that is, a pretty small chunk of land. When you're looking at farms that are thousands. At least 250 acres to hunt on. So average shot distance. Oh, if you're hunting in the brush, 40 yards. If you're hunting, field edges on some of our lease property and some of the other properties, you have capability. If you chose to take a deer, at 500 yards, 150 yards, you could. I don't do a lot of field edge hunting though. So some of our spots where we have stands, in the woods that are, I don't know, I say like heritage stands, ones that have been there for years, or areas that we primarily hunt in. Sometimes we'll clear lanes, if it's a mature woods where there's not a lot of undergrowth. You're hunting like the edge of I've got this one spot I like to hunt. There's like a 4-acre beaver pond. It's flooded timbers, and then it's really thick and heavy, and you get a lot of nice buck travel through there. It's a real good pinch point and travel corridor. But to the the north side of that stand, it's very open, so you have essentially 150 yards you can shoot through the woods. No, it's illegal to feed deer here as far as baiting. Put up corn piles, salt licks. That's all completely illegal. I do have food plots, so you can plant a cornfield and the deer can eat that, but you cannot dump corn on the ground, like from a bucket. Yeah, no, if you get caught feeding deer here, you go to jail. Oh, that's cool, Brandon. At least you got a nice place to hunt. I did hunt in North Carolina. That was my first time hunting over bait, and it's really weird. I felt super guilty because evidently every state except New York, people feed deer. Like they actually put corn. They'll put corn on the ground. They just whack the deer. A deer comes up to eat corn. They just shoot the deer, and I guess it's it's still fair chase. Short of being in a cage. But it just felt weird. I'm used to, patterning deer and, getting their movements and being very selective and, actually hunting. And like I say, outside of New York State, I guess, well, he says Oregon is also illegal. It seems kind of crazy to me. Like, oh man, you guys can put down like corn. Are you sure? Check the syllabus. Yeah. Oh, you can hunt them with dogs. You can put down corn. It's like somebody's dog up here chases deer. You shoot the dog. Yeah, it just didn't feel right to me, I guess. Yeah, the deer do like acorns. They prefer whites over reds. More palatable. Same thing with clover. They like the white clover over red clover. It's not as spiny, so I plant a lot of white clover. Doesn't grow as high. Doesn't look as lush. California, you can only take deer that you bare naked choke with your bare hands. Yeah, New York. And the thing is with the baiting and the salt licks, what they're trying to prevent is disease in the deer herd. So if you have a salt lick and the deer have, chronic waste disease, and the other deer are licking off of that same salt lick, and through saliva transfer, it can actually harm the deer population. And so, I see the reasoning behind it. Oh, so you can use feeders for hogs. Like here, if we see any feral hogs, we're not allowed to shoot them. Yep, chicory. So that's right, Justin. I use chicory in with my clover. So yeah, 6-point chicory, man. Deer love that. They'll actually fish around through the clover and pick out the chicory. They seem to do really good. Oh, you can use lead. Oh, I was gonna say you can use lead shot for ducks. That would be amazing. We got to use steel shot. Yeah, it'd be nice. It'd be nice to be able to use lead shot on ducks. Even when we're field hunting for geese or ducks, you cannot use lead shot. Even if you're not hunting over water, you still have to use steel shot, which sucks. Oh yeah, no, so that I guess the hogs are more migrating from like northern Pennsylvania and coming up through New York, but yeah, it's right in the syllabus that you cannot shoot feral hogs. Yeah, the steel shot on waterfowl is awful. I mean, you get them like, I mean, you got to have them close. Whitetails, axis, and black ducks. So our ducks that I've mainly hunted are bluebills, teals, mallards, redheads, blacks. I've never gotten a canvasback, but those are what's in our area on the lake. Of course, you get mergansers, you know, that'll mix in, but you don't want to get a merganser. I have used tungsten shot, David. So, you know, we refer to it as heavy shot, but it's very expensive. That works as good as lead, I would have to say. No, my engine shop, my machine shop is not shut down. No, I took a head up to him the other day. He's actually still hammering away. Yeah, that's the thing, black tree. But you know, yeah, they're going to become invasive, and then you know it becomes a big issue, and then they're going to be like, oh, you know, we should have shot them when they were here, but no. You know, a guy named Mallard Teal. That's funny. I wonder if his dad was a duck hunter. So I have gotten a couple cinnamon wing teals, but is a 6.5 superior to the 300 Win mag? It depends on what you're looking for. You know, as far as bullet coefficient, yes, it flies flatter than a 30 caliber, but that's just science. Oh yeah, yeah. If you can't hear the wings on them geese squeaking, then they're too far away. You know what I mean. You know, you get a goose coming into your set, you'll hear them. You know, their wings make a certain noise. Or if you can't see the blacks of their eyes, then I don't shoot. Well, thanks, Robert. Yes, we do have bears. Actually, we just had a bear by our house just recently, like 2 days ago. Yep, I still have the Eden garden. It is all ready to go right now, just waiting for the right time to put in plants. Just waiting for the frost. You know, it's still wake up in the morning, you can have pretty heavy frost. Pretty much got to wait till the end of the month to start planting. But I had quite a few onions come up. I went out there the other day. I was like, man, there's lots of voluntary onions, so I just left them. Yeah, I'll try to get some stuff on the outdoor stuff, hopefully. So a lot of times it just comes down to time. How's Sheba doing? She's doing good. She's right there. Sheba. There she is. She just curled up. That's what she does. She likes to sleep out here. She usually sleep just outside the door. I'm not working on Jeep videos. Why? I was just telling the people that oddly or sadly enough, I haven't even really drove it. It is on the road, title and all that stuff went through. Everything was good there. So thank you for that. There was no problems there. I've drove it a little bit, but I just gotta do it. It's just I've been so freaking busy. No, she's not a shop or a hunting dog. She's just my dog. She's always with me. If you see me, you usually see my dog. Yeah. Yeah, we don't have any wolves here. We do have lots of coyotes and foxes. And we got a little fox den in our yard right now. It's super cool because they're little pups. And the other day when I don't know if I already told you guys, but we were driving the Jeep and the belt on my Jeep squeaks, and I think it attracted the foxes because we're coming down this one trail, and all the little foxes came out, and I stopped the Jeep, and they're like coming up to it, and I moved ahead a little bit, and you know, they all scattered and went back down their holes. But they look like little puppies. You know, you want to go out and pick them up, but you can't, you know, don't touch them, don't mess with them. Yeah, I don't know about hunting the whole hog thing with a knife. That's more of, you know, nothing against your cousin or anything, but I don't know. That's more of an ego thing. You know, they hunt with dogs and they tie it to pig. I don't know. I'm not into that stuff. You know, if you're going to hunt an animal, I try to give it just a humane, you know, quick kill. That's it. And then, you know, hunt for the meat. I'm not out there to, you know, hide behind a tree with a knife and have somebody tie it up so I can, you know, stab it. I don't know. I don't get off on that stuff. No, I'm not going to be live on. What time is it? Oh my gosh, it's freaking 7:30. Yeah, probably ought to wrap it up sometime here. Aren't little foxes called kittens? Probably. Not up on my, I call them little baby foxes, what I call them. But they look like puppies, you know, when you see one. It looks like a little baby husky. It's all fluffy and cute. Let's see, when somebody brings a car in New York that is not CARB compliant emissions, what happens to the cat? I know it's retrofit Cali emissions. So if it comes in and it's federal emissions and you get a PO 420, you are one of the lucky souls that we can actually put a federal emissions converter on. However, if it is a CARB certified car, then we have to put a CARB converter on it. But, you know, very rare. I think out of all converters I put on, I've only ever done like a couple federal emissions ones. And I almost take it for granted, you know, like, and I'll check the family or the engine family number on it. I'm like, I'll run it. I'm like, oh, this is a federal car. You know, where'd you buy this thing? Yeah, it does run really well. Why I did take it around the block and you know, stomp on it a little bit. So I can't wait to get it up and going. Bad air over to free nitrogen now. Speaking of my free air, I have this guy that stops in religiously, like twice a week, to fill up his tires, and he has for months. And I don't get it. I don't know. I don't get it. Wouldn't you just fix the tire? I don't know. Let's see. Oh, no, don't bring me your air-cooled Volkswagen. Not at all. You can keep it. There is a guy like just around the block, though. He works on a lot of Volkswagens. He has some really neat, unique-looking ones. Not just bugs, you know. He's got like all different kinds of old Volkswagen cars, and he just like, I don't even know his name. He's just this older guy that lives around here, and he has a little 3-bay shop, and that's all he just does work for himself. Would a bad temperature sensor cause an engine to run rich on a 93 Chevy van? You betcha. That baby was stuck at minus 40. That thing's going to be rolling coal. The spicy Italian. No, I've never worked on an air-cooled BW. My neighbor used to have like this street legal go-kart thing, doom buggy, I guess it would be. He had a little air-cooled Volkswagen in that. But anyhow, I gotta get out of here. What do you think, Sheba? You wanna go home? You wanna go for a ride? You wanna go get ice cream? Nothing? You just wanna lay on the floor and sleep all night? All right. I need to do a bit on wide chart. It's a long ways away. But anyway, guys, I'm going to get peeling out of here. So hopefully, if you watched back in the beginning of the videos, answer some of your questions about the What's Up Wednesday and what's going on here at the shop. I'll try to hit up some, you know, live streams occasionally at random, weather dependent and schedule dependent. We'll take it from there. It was good to finally sit down and take some weight off my feet. Mrs. O did give me some new boots. The FedEx guy dropped them off today, so I'm happy about that. My feet been hurting here for the past couple of days, so, or past couple of weeks maybe. Hurts. That sucks. I hate it when my feet get achy, because then you don't want to stand up. You can't stand up, you can't do any work, but we keep on sludging through it. So it was good to take a break, have a seat, come talk to you guys, see what's up in the chat. So thanks everyone for stopping by. Thanks for the super chats, all the good conversation and such. Thanks for being awesome subscribers, and those of you on Patreon, and of course all of our blue renters out here keeping the peace, I guess it would be. And fortunately, we don't have a lot of a-holes in the crowd, so they don't have to really keep the peace that much. We got a really good bunch of guys for, 1,000 people watching. We always have some good conversation going on over here, so I'm thankful for that. In the meantime, keep a lookout for the videos. Like I say, probably the next several weeks worth of videos looks like they're going to be a lot of mechanical stuff. I'm assuming I'm going to try to mix it up with some other ideas I have if time allows. It's always all about the time, something we can never get back. That's that. So, all right, guys, thanks for watching.